Hi, and welcome to week 5's lesson. The lesson for this week will be creating the incentive plan. The task will be to create an overall plan that incentivizes task completion for the kids and teenagers in your family. Now, usually we look at the punishment versus reward sort of option in terms of, if you don't do what I want to do, then I'm going to take something away from you and create an element of pain that will hopefully motivate you to then accomplish the thing that I want you to accomplish. In my experience, generally, this causes people to shut down and not motivate them to do the very things that we want them to do. However, in life and in school, and I think in just about every other area, ironically enough, except the home life, we work for what we get, not because we're afraid that something will be taken away. As part of this, we want to create an incentive structure. Now, you're going to want to tie things like chores, homework, respect, different behavioral issues into, if you do them or don't do them, then you will earn a specific reward. Now, what we're not talking about is creating a gold star chart for tying your shoes. What we're saying is that if you complete your homework by 4 o'clock, then you'll have access to your cell phone. And if you do your chores by 7 o'clock, you'll have access to some time on the screen, whether it be video games or TV. Now, the idea behind this is that each day starts fresh. So if somebody chooses not to participate or not follow through on a specific task, they don't earn that reward for the day, but also the next day it starts over, as not to self-defeat people and cause them to shut down. This is an effective tool and a way to increase motivation. Now, I also describe this as a scaffolding, and you'll see in some of the questions, particularly question 4, where it asks, how do we know that things are working? What's our process for review? And how do we know that adjustments should be made? Now, all of this is part of this as an ongoing process, and what I really want you to focus on is the idea of scaffolding, that over time this will fall off, this will adjust as necessary. Ultimately, it builds in independence, responsibility taking, and decision making. Now, as part of that, we want to move away from reminding and prompting and put the responsibility squarely on our teens and kids' shoulders, so that if they don't do it, then they're faced with not earning their privilege. If they do it, they receive a lot of praise in addition to receiving the item or the activity that they wanted to participate in. However, we don't want to be micromanaging every aspect of this. So if they don't do it, then maybe the first time we give them a get out of jail free card so that they can get conditioned to learning what this new process is going to look like. But overall, we don't want to be on top of them, nagging them, constantly reminding them. That's going to be a point of, it's you and not me. You're doing this to me, not what I'm doing for myself. So you can see that there's an example on the second page of this particular lesson. There's also a template in the back for you to fill out. Now, the first time you're going to do this, I would say, do the best you can. Engage with your kids and your teen as far as negotiating what should be allowed in there or what shouldn't be allowed in there, and make it a real collaborative process so that nobody feels marginalized and that their views or opinions aren't important. Again, going back to the idea of love, respect, and honesty. So I hope that this was helpful as you guys set forward to change the way you're delivering consequences and incentivizing behavior. Now, as part of this, what I want to say is there should be non-negotiables. So safety, disrespect, if those benchmarks aren't met, then all of the rest of the privileges for that day will not have the opportunity to be reached. Now, if it's a genuine safety concern where there's threat to violence or physical harm, then you're going to want to call the police and draw a clear line in the sand. So this incentive plan is more for the day-to-day. In week 3, we talked about how to deal with those more physical, aggressive, defiant behaviors. So pairing that with this, I think not only will you see an elimination of behaviors, but then you'll be able to incentivize the task completion that you desired. So thank you for watching this week's lesson, and I look forward to seeing you for next week. Thank you. day.